In today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to clearing up some rumors having to do with reprints, whether they're going to happen, but more importantly, in my opinion, talking about my numbers for Obsidian Flames and if the upcoming Scarlet and Violet era products are going to be printed into the ground. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content each and every week, Monday and Wednesday. And then lastly, outside of that, we're also doing Twitter giveaways. Make sure to check that out. Link is down in the description below. We're doing an active giveaway right now as well for a Lost Origin Elite Trainer box if you follow and retweet the post. So check that out. And as per always, the two other links I always recommend you check out. If we ever do have spots, the Patreon is the place to check us out for access to wholesale Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Flesh and Blood, and so many more items so you can get distro level pricing. And then Discord is the place to be if you want to be a part of the community or stay up to date on all things PokemartUSA. Links down in the description for all of those items. But it's going to be an exciting day today. So I am not going to be pulling up. I'm not going to be doing a double screen. This is going to be a one screen, just having a conversation with you guys because holy crap, we've got so many things to talk about today, which is, I'm really excited about, right? So first and foremost, I talked to my rep and I haven't talked about this other than within the Discord or on some of my lives. Lives are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 PST. Highly recommend you check them out. But from what I am hearing, it appears as if Lost Origin booster box prices from at least one of my reps is going to be printed sub $100. Now, we haven't gotten full confirmation that it's going to be $85. According to what we're seeing on the backlogs, they're saying $95. However, I would be extremely surprised if it's going to be $95. This rep is known for, whenever a reprint happens, charging whatever the wholesale price rate is. And Pokemon has announced that Sword and Shield era, this is per Danny Phantom. He's also talked about this in his videos, where they said for anything Sword and Shield era, they're not going to raise to the current wholesale prices. They're going to keep it at that old wholesale price of $85, $86, depending upon distributor. So it would be very unlikely that they would do that for Lost Origin to be $95, $50, $96, however that ends up being, as that is the Scarlet and Violet price. So I feel like that would just be dishonest if that's what's going to happen. So I'm pretty optimistic of that, but either way, it's good news. We're more than likely going to get it sub 100. Still don't know what the overall print size is going to be for it so far, but the expectation, obviously, I know, is it's going to at least have a decent size. Sure, a lot of distributors, they're going to more than likely bundle it together. So you're going to hear the fantastic, everyone's favorite Battle Academy bundles. But don't let that fool you, because that still is going to drop prices. We saw what happened with Brilliant Stars and how prices for that still dropped. Now, moving on to the next bit of news in terms of product rumors, I wanted to dispel a couple of rumors. One, we had been hearing rumors that there was going to be a reprint for Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes. This is not true. From the information that I've looked into from my sources and from other couple of individuals I've had discussions with, it appears as if this is going to be a resupply, just small little restock that is coming from back warehouses. So this is not going to be a full-on reprint. If, distributors do have access to them, if retailers do have access to them, they're probably going to only be able to get maybe a case at best. And I highly doubt every account will be able to get access to them, just based on the fact that this is very specific for a distributor. So don't get your hopes up with that. You're not going to see prices correcting. You're not going to see prices crash. I highly doubt if we see any sort of price movement on this, because when it comes to kind of restocks of this magnitude, and by this magnitude I mean just such a small magnitude, I usually don't even like to consider it in terms of its pricing, because it's just not big enough to where I think it's going to make a move unless we're getting a reprint. Even if it's a small reprint, reprints are in a different size, category. Now, there has been some other reports, however, that Scarlet and Violet and Silver Tempest is potentially going to be getting a reprint as well, coming around the same time of Lost Origin. Well, Although it seems as if it could fall so far into either category. From a Silver Tempest perspective, it makes sense if that's something that they're going to have happen with Lost Origin. I myself have not heard anything yet from my distributors. I've just heard it from a couple of my sources that seem pretty trustworthy, that it's entirely possible that we're going to get a Silver Tempest reprint. Scarlet and Violet, though, that one seems a little iffy. I know that obviously it's going to fall into the same basket category of Silver Tempest, but it feels like a really weird one to reprint just based on the fact that the prices of the booster boxes are still drastically low. But as we've seen historically, that has not stopped the Pokemon, so this wouldn't be stop the Pokemon Company, because this hasn't been out of the realm of possibility of happening, where Battle Styles, if you guys remember, when it was climbing from $90 and it finally went all the way up to $110, and we got absolutely dumped with a massive reprint at the end of 2021. Guess what? One of those items where they got reprinted, Battle Styles booster boxes, and you're saying, why did they do it? It was only $110, but Pokemon Company doesn't care. When they do their reprints, when they do their restocks, they love to do it all at once, and they absolutely dumb things. So it would not surprise me if this is what comes to fruition, and this is going to lead into a couple of other points. Man, we've got so much to discuss. I'm so excited about today. It's been a lot of really good news. So, in terms of how the Pokemon Company has historically done things, when it comes to doing large drops, they usually tend to do it right before a new set release or shortly right after, because it's usually just easiest for them to be like, hey, we've had the printers running and we want to just dump it all at once so that we can make it so that people are going to have to focus on what items they want. Obviously, certain items are going to be, more demanding than others. Obviously, if they were to reprint like 10 different booster boxes and one of them was Evolving Skies, hypothetically, that would be the one that is going to get the most eyes. But obviously, to my knowledge, that has not been confirmed yet. Okay, I'm just using this as an example. But having Obsidian Flames right around the corner, which is going to be coming out in August, and then we're hearing news of Lost Origin reprints, potentially Silver Tempest reprints, and so on and so forth, coming in the middle of July. That is going to line up perfectly with right before a new set release. Which, speaking of which, quite interesting. So when it came to Paldea Evolved, I got my allocation numbers super late. Like, we're talking 2 to 3 weeks before release. At this point, I usually would be charged for payment, let alone given my numbers. So it's insane to me that it took that long. And obviously, as you guys know, Paldea Evolved was a quite short printed set. Booster box numbers weren't really affected that much, but in terms of numbers for elite trainer boxes, sleeve blisters, 3-pack blisters, booster bundles, everything, the works, it was not printed whatsoever. Now, it does appear as if from distributors, we're starting to see Paldea Evolved extra supply start to pop up coming from the Pokemon Company. So, expectations for Paldea to probably stay low, considering the secondary market is selling them for $92. Now, Obsidian Flames, different situation. I got my numbers today. And for those of you guys that don't know, in terms of the overall release date for Obsidian Flames, it's going to be coming out August 11th. That's about a month and a half early that we got our allocation numbers. So we're still drastically far out from when the release date is going to happen. Heck, we don't even know what's going to be in the Japanese variation of the set, which is insane to me because usually by the time we know what's in the set, we shortly thereafter get numbers. However, this time around, we got numbers extremely early. And I'm here to say, ladies and gentlemen, based on what I am seeing from my specific numbers, this is my numbers, obviously, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I got triple, almost quadruple the amount of allocations for my Elite Trainer boxes. So from my first allocation wave, and this is with one of my distributors, I started off with 200 Elite Trainer boxes. That is what they gave me for Paldea Evolved. For Obsidian Flames, they just said that they're going to be giving me 690. So roughly around 3.5 times more in terms of my allocations. My previous numbers for sleeve blister cases was 11. I am going to be given 20. My previous numbers for booster boxes, I was given 400, and I'm going to be getting 720. So my numbers for this were, 75-80% greater than what was previously. Like, that is ridiculously big. Like, holy crap, my numbers for that are way higher than what I was anticipating. I was hoping best case scenario, right? Like, we're talking, I would love to get 600, right? 600 would be fantastic. That's a 50% jump from what we had previously gotten. So if we get 600, fantastic. But 720? Holy crap, guys. So with all that being said, I think that we don't know what the numbers are for the rest of the product. These are the only 3 items I have the numbers for. With that being said, I think this gives a little bit of hope to the fact of the matter that it feels like there's been some drastic shortages when it comes to Pokemon product. And I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, Pokemon is about ready to release the floodgates when it comes to supply, right? Obviously, I said this already. I'll say it again. Take everything I say with a grain of salt because my numbers are not going to be the same as everyone else's, right? There could be a video Danny Phantom comes out with or Mason with Cardinal, and they say, oh my goodness, I got the same exact numbers as everything before, right? They could have a completely different video than I'm coming out with, but I can tell you for me personally, I'm getting absolutely dumped on in terms of the overall supply of what I'm expecting to get with Obsidian Flames. Now, 151. Obviously, there's been a ton of hype around 151. I don't have any information to my numbers on that because, first and foremost, we're still taking pre-orders for 151, so we're still a ways away from the set coming out. However, I will say they took pre-orders extremely early, right? And it seems as if the Pokemon company, and this is obviously a general assumption here, they're like ahead of schedule because they've been absolutely just pumping it out, right? Like, we're talking Obsidian Flames pre-orders a month and a half early. We're talking allocations a month and a half early. We're talking pre-orders about 2 months early for 151 and when they're usually going to be placed. So we're getting like our numbers quick. And it has me to believe that they've just been kind of setting all this product off to the sideline, getting it ready. And this would be followed up by some more rumors that people have been having a discussion about, which is 151, specifically the item of the Mew Ultra Premium Collection. It appears as if there's potentially going to be a larger supply for this specific product, and this is obviously rumors still. This is not fully confirmed. I talked to my rep about this. He says, how the heck should I know? We just still haven't even gotten our numbers. Yeah, for that item, I'll probably know within the next month, though, because usually this is when the rumor mill starts to get confirmed on my end. But the numbers for this item specifically seem to be from some of my other sources printed to the likeness of the Ultra Premium Collection Charizard and more than that. We're hearing that it's going to be multiple waves of just product dumps for 151. Now, if you guys remember when I had a conversation with 151 in the video I posted saying this is going to be one of the best sets of the year, what was something that I talked about and said was extremely likely to happen? I said this is going to be a set that's going to line up right around the time of Black Friday. This set comes out at the end of September, Black Friday obviously being 2 months later, and because of that, we've been seeing a just exponential amount of product since the MSRP increases sitting on the shelves of big box retailers, playing into this with 151 being around the time of Black Friday and them just sitting on the shelves. It would not surprise me if we start to see massive flash sales for 151 where you're going to be able to pick this up well below MSRP and in some instances at wholesale pricing, which sounds crazy. But the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I am seeing the prices of the UPC for the Mew go for $200 right now, which is absolutely insane. So with this all being said and everything finally coming together, obviously some of the information, we have confirmation with Lost Origin. We've got confirmation of my allocation numbers, obviously, said again, one more time, take it with a grain of salt. It could be different for everyone else. Tying into the fact of the matter that we're hearing rumors with these other things, which kind of lines up with everything that I've said for this video. it appears as if the Pokemon Company is finally going to be giving us this product drop we've been waiting for the longest time. Now, does this mean that we're going to get huge, numbers or reprints period for anything in the Sword and Shield era past, 2022, aka Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies? No, we've heard no information about this. It is pretty unlikely at this point. I hate to say it because I was obviously one of the champions for Evolving Skies getting a reprint just based on rotation. We still don't know what's going on in terms of standard rotation, if it's going to go back to August or the start of next year. We'll have to kind of wait on that, but I digress. We are still seeing optimism, though, with the supply coming, and it looks like it's going to be coming fast. And I'm excited. I am extremely excited. So patience is going to be the name of the game for this, guys. Opportunity is going to arise itself. And going back to it with Obsidian Flames, we haven't even seen the full set release of what is going to be inside of it, right? We know, obviously, with the Charizard leak, that is about as far as it goes. And we don't know if that's the only Charizard card, right? You guys remember a Flash Fire set that came out in XY. If you weren't around for it, go look up the set. It had multiple different Charizard arts and designs within the set, so it's entirely possible there could be multiple. Or it's entirely possible this is the only Charizard. There's going to be a Tyranitar in the set. There's going to be a Dragonite in the set. It looks like, it's going to have some heavy hitters in the set, so we're hoping that, that's not going to be taken away from the fact that the crown design looks terrible. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is extremely good news, in my personal opinion, for the Pokemon hobby. Yes, I know a lot of people have been crapping on Paldea Evolved, and that's with the short print supply, but I think with Obsidian Flames being right around the corner, 151 being right around the corner, and, Silver Tempest and, confirmed Lost Origin, these sets have a greater, pace of demand that people want. And I think that's going to be extremely healthy for the market. It's going to be really good for the market, and people are going to get the opportunity to come in and invest and or collect or open a lot of amazing Pokemon sets at a really affordable price. So getting excited for that, ladies and gentlemen. But as far as it goes, that is all for today's video. As always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. We're also doing a Twitter giveaway. Make sure to check that out. Link is down in the description below. But outside of that, the two other links you got to check out. If we ever have a spot available for the Patreon, highly recommend you join it to get access to wholesale prices on Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, and so much more. And then Discord if you want to stay up to date on all things PokemartUSA or be a part of the community. But that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you on Tuesdays live at 12:30. Peace.